So back in 2016, Pope Francis released a document that honestly sent some pretty big ripples across the world. It's called Amoris Lætitia, which means the joy of love. And in this explainer, we're diving into what it is, a really deep, honest, and often beautiful look at the realities of love, marriage, and family here in the 21st century. And right from the get-go, it hits you with this powerful idea. You see, this document wasn't just written in some quiet office. No, it came after a huge 2-year global consultation where the church basically just listened to families from all over the world. The goal here wasn't to rewrite core beliefs, but to fundamentally change the tone, to shift the whole pastoral approach away from judgment and towards accompaniment and mercy. So where do you even start with something that big? Well, before getting into any of the problems, the document starts by painting a picture of the ideal, a vision for the family that's rooted deep in Scripture. And the imagery here, it's just so powerful. Why? Because it's not static or stiffly perfect. A fruitful vine and olive shoots, these are images of life, of energy, of growth. It's a way of saying that the ideal family is this dynamic, thriving, living thing. And this gets to a really core theological idea that the family isn't just a social unit. It's what's called a living icon. What that means is that a loving family, just by living its daily life, becomes a real, tangible reflection of God's creative and saving love. It's like a little window into the divine. And this is so important, the document does not stay up in the clouds. It quickly pivots from that beautiful ideal to confront the messy, complicated, and often really difficult reality that families are facing every single day. It gets real about the huge cultural pressures we're all feeling, things like an extreme individualism that can make family bonds feel weaker, and what it calls a culture of the ephemeral, basically a throwaway culture where relationships, like everything else, can start to feel disposable. All of this, as you can imagine, makes lifelong commitment feel like a massive, daunting task. And it's not just these big, abstract cultural ideas, right? The document points to very real, very material struggles. Things like poverty, not having steady work, the lack of affordable housing. These aren't side issues. They put immense, crushing strain on a family's stability and its peace. And then, in what is honestly a pretty stunning moment of self-criticism, the document admits that the church itself has sometimes been part of the problem. That by presenting this ideal of marriage that was so perfect and so abstract, it just felt totally unattainable to people living in the real world. This kind of honesty is what really paves the way for a more compassionate approach. Okay, so you've got this beautiful ideal on one side and this complex, messy reality on the other. How do you bridge that gap? Well, the document proposes a bridge, and the first part of it is a remarkably practical, down-to-earth guide to what love actually looks like in action. It kicks things off with patience. But listen, this isn't about passively letting people walk all over you. Not at all. It's presented as an active strength, this deep compassion that fights the urge to react angrily and instead accepts the other person, flaws and all, exactly as they are in this moment. You can really see the contrast here, can't you? Patience accepts. It avoids giving offense. It creates a home. Impatience, on the other hand, it reacts aggressively, it tries to force other people to be perfect, and it just turns a family into a battleground. All right, next up, kindness. And the document is clear. This isn't just some warm, fuzzy feeling. It's an action. It's a dynamic verb. It's the active choice to do good. It's about serving other people freely without expecting anything back. It's all about deeds, not just words. And again, you see this stark difference. Kindness looks outward. It genuinely values another person's achievements and wants to help them succeed. Envy, its total opposite, is all inward-looking. It sees other people as a threat, and it actually feels sad when they do well. And then there's humility. This is a big one for family life. It means rejecting this whole logic of domination and competition. It's about letting go of that need to be the most powerful, or the smartest, or the one who's always right. Instead, you choose to serve and to understand. And the whole document is sprinkled with these incredibly tangible pieces of advice, just like this simple rule to never let the sun go down on your anger, to never let resentment build up overnight. It's so powerful. It doesn't need big speeches, just a small gesture of peace to restore that harmony before you go to sleep. Okay, so that's the first part of the bridge. The second part? Well, this is arguably the most crucial and maybe the most talked about part of the whole thing. It's a new pastoral path, one that is grounded entirely in mercy. This single line right here, It signals a huge shift in emphasis. It's saying the role of the church isn't to micromanage people's lives or to be a substitute for their own moral compass. No, the role is to be a guide, to help people develop a well-formed conscience so they can navigate life's complexities themselves.
And that flows right into this next point. This is a direct call for pastors and for whole communities to stop applying these rigid, one-size-fits-all rules to everybody. Instead, the call is to listen, to understand the unique context of each family's struggle, and to recognize that responsibility isn't always black and white.
So, when you boil it all down, what's the big takeaway from Amoris Lætitia? I think it can be summed up in one powerful word: accompaniment. It's about being a church that walks alongside people on their journey. And this new approach, this idea of accompaniment, really breaks down into 4 key actions. First, meet people in their actual reality, not some idealized version. Second, walk with them through their struggles. Third, focus on integrating everyone, not excluding them. And finally, and maybe most importantly, always prioritize mercy over rigid judgment. Ultimately, Amoris Lætitia leaves us wrestling with this really profound and vital question. You see, it's not about abandoning timeless ideals about marriage and family. It's about the struggle, the challenge of how to hold those ideals up while, at the same time, showing real, tangible compassion to people who are living in the messy, imperfect, but often beautiful reality of our modern world.